reading help us live longer? I'm going to summarize 3 studies that gave us their insight coming up. Reading has often been associated with a longer and healthier life. This presumption appears to be backed up, as numerous studies suggest that regular readers may enjoy longer lifespan than those who rarely, if ever, pick up a book. Following are some of the most recent studies finding that those who read books tend to live longer. The first study, published in the medical journal The Lancet, found that people who read books had a 23% lower risk of premature death than those who did not read books. This study looked at 12 years of data from 3,635 adults and concluded that those who read books 30 to 45 minutes per day tended to live longer than those who did not. The second study, conducted by the University of Texas, found that those who read books, magazines, and newspapers had a 23% lower risk of earlier death than those who did not engage in the same activities. In addition, the study found that individuals who read all 3 portions of the study had a 20% lower risk of early death than those who only read magazines or newspapers. The third study, conducted at Yale University, looked at data from over 3,600 participants over a 20-year period. Those who read books were found to have a 17% lower mortality risk than non-readers. Overall, all 3 studies suggest that reading books can reduce the risk of early mortality, though the degree may vary. The findings also stretch across age, gender, and ethnicity, so it seems that everyone can benefit somewhat from dedicating some time to reading books. I wanted to share a little bonus information on whether or not reading in the dark is really bad for our eyes, because I'm not sure about you guys, but growing up as a kid, my parents would always tell me to turn some more light on in the room if I was reading a book in the dark. So regarding the topic of whether or not reading in the dark is bad for our eyes, studies have not shown any definitive conclusion. It appears, though, is that it's not ideal, as our eyes lose up to 25% of their ability to focus in the dark, and some eye strain might take place. However, it's also worth noting that our eyes might be able to adjust over time depending on the amount of light they're exposed to. Therefore, it might be better to stick to reading in a well-lit room when possible. Pop quiz: how many bookworms does it take to change a light bulb? The answer is none. They prefer reading by candlelight. In conclusion, the latest research has suggested that we should all make time for reading books in our lives, as it may add years to our life expectancy. Although more research is needed to confirm the exact degree of the connection, it's safe to assume that reading has many benefits, both physical and mental. As for reading in the dark, it might be best to avoid it as much as possible, at least to avoid that eye strain that might happen with 25% of that focus being gone. And if you're reading on a digital device, try changing the settings so you're reading white letters on a black background instead of black letters on a white background. This can reduce eye strain and even reduce the amount of blue light coming off the monitor or screen. Avoiding blue light in the last hour before bedtime is a great way to make sure you don't make it too difficult to fall asleep at night. Take a second and click the like button if you're liking the content, and if you like the content in this video, you'll definitely want to watch my next video about different types of eyeglasses that can help you read easier, and I'll see you in the next video.